Over 40 hours later, and I have finished Assassin's Creed Shadows. 40 plus hours of exploring open world Japan as Naoe and Yasuke on their journeys of revenge and justice. 40 hours of fighting, climbing, and leveling up. 40 plus hours later, and my thoughts on the game are that it was numbing to play. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the latest game in the almost 20-year long running series that has more entries than I have fingers, and for many of the games I've either finished them, 100% of them, and played a lot of them repeatedly, even the ones I don't like. However, there was a brick wall at one point though with these games, as for another year we had another Assassin's Creed, with the game for this year being Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And unlike usual entries before, when I got my hands on Syndicate, I felt this feeling of just not caring anymore. For the first time in my life, a series I grew up with, I had grown out of it.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Not caring anymore about the history setting we were heading to, or the present day story that had dwindled off more and more each entry after Assassin's Creed 3. Yes, I cared about the present day story, but when Desmond was the main character. Let's move on from that. Since then, I still checked out the series, but didn't bother with finishing the games, and so when I took my break from the games, Assassin's Creed took a break as well, as they had a year off and returned with Assassin's Creed Origins. A game that many would love, except me, as it lost its charm at this point for me. Not just from me being done with the series, but losing interest as it went a more RPG approach, which isn't a problem as I know many people love that style. As I said earlier though, I would continue playing as I would, playing Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and Mirage, with only one of these games I finished, that being Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I did enjoy to be honest, though I didn't really enjoy the story much, and yes I know I should finish Assassin's Creed Valhalla to understand it more, I just never finished Valhalla and don't think I can stomach a game that long. I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Mirage's Assassin's Creed feeling, still having its RPG elements but having its exploration toned down, and having an upgrade path that felt fun as I did assassin contracts that were to my liking, as I think I said in other videos that I wish there was a game in the series like this where you were just an assassin taking on contracts and knowing your targets in a smaller world, sort of like how the Hitman games are. With this, I genuinely thought that maybe with this game I was back in the series, as Assassin's Creed Shadows would release next and was being made primarily by the team that did Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the one that I enjoyed most out of the latest games. Maybe because I was feeding over Cassandra at the time, but after delay and delay for Assassin's Creed Shadows and watching gameplay trailers that had me go worried to hopeful, I got into the game come launch day with a positive feel to it. I think with the main thing being that I hadn't properly played an Assassin's Creed game in forever, with the last time playing one after Mirage was a replay of Assassin's Creed Syndicate that I actually enjoyed more of this time around, even with British accents.
There's a second bus coming!
The start of the game was a good start, with a basic story of revenge, once again with these Assassin's Creed games, as you play Naoe, a woman who seeks to take on a group of mass villains who kill your father, steal his box, and leave you for dead as you learn of the history of the Assassin's Creed in Japan, and make allies to form a creed of sorts of your own. Included in this group is a samurai named Yasuke, as after years since Syndicate, the return of dual protagonists has returned to the series with this game. And I'll say this was a really fun start for me when it came to this game, but the further I got into this game, the more I became less interested, and that's not because of my horribly short attention span, but from the lack of a moving story that had grabbed me soon after the game's decent opening and left me sipping that Hopian gas crazy style, hoping that it just stays this good. But after a few times of playing on and off for week 1 of the game, I started drifting off from the game's story and world, as traveling this large ass map, which as you're going back and forth for objectives and story, started to really thin out each new mission or location I discovered and had to take care of. And Assassin's Creed's same old objectives just started popping up again. Climb a tree or building to synchronize, kill big and small enemies to progress anything in this game, acquire gear/loot that has percentage stats that feel useless, level up to become stronger, but the game gets stronger with you, which I hate when games do that. I want to return somewhere and just be crazy strong there, but no, I can't have fun fucking people up at level 1 when I'm level 45. During this first week of playing, I played one night as I was up late and went, you know what, I'll synchronize points for this one map area so it's easier to go around, as I switched on a podcast and spent over 2 hours taking on enemies and getting synced up in locations to make fast travel quicker for me for future missions in this one area of the large ass map. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it made me think about how mind-numbing this was for me as I continued playing, so I could make the game easier for me. Like, that really shouldn't be something I try to do for a game. I should love the work to get there, and once I get to that objective in the game, I'm like, oh look, a synchronization point's here, I'll grab that, because I really just explored, and that was it. Take a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where the fog of the map is needed to be cleared out, and through your journey of just exploring, you can either enjoy the world with its fantastic soundtrack, or bump into a random encounter of a man wanting you to beat him up because he doesn't want the king to kill him for losing an important letter, so has you beat him to pretend it was stolen. These types of encounters kept me exploring and stopped me from fast traveling unless plot required, or I was so focused on the quest I was doing I didn't want to be distracted. AC Shadows though? Yeah, it's pretty, but the world is just lifeless with no encounters happening like this, unless you're looking for a quest that is on your map, or maybe you're wanted in the area and some guardians trying to kill you, which you can easily avoid with your horse. Very easily avoid. You can say this about the other Assassin's Creed games as well, even the older ones, like take Assassin's Creed 2 for an instance, but with that game's maps that may have felt empty at times when exploring them, with its big fields, it made sense with it, as there's a main city in the center, so of course the fields would be empty or not as packed like the city will be. And these maps that were empty are way smaller to Shadows, man. Like, I get that someone might compare these two, but you're comparing apples to oranges when it comes to map sizes and, you know, the emptiness factor. Shadows' story also talks about how war is ongoing in your location, but never once did I feel that war except the opening and near end of the game. I hate to bring this game up as most people have, but a game like Ghost of Tsushima works great in this department as the Mongols invade your island and leave the world creepily quiet or depressing as well. There's an invasion, so of course it's quiet or depressing to explore, and people aren't going to explore openly unless they have a death wish or feel safe thanks to your actions and efforts in the game. And with KCD2 and Ghost, they didn't have me put a podcast on or scrolling as my horse took me to my next objective like Shadows does. I sat my ass down and listened and explored, whereas Shadows became a chore for me in most parts. The game still had its ups, as I did enjoy both Naoe and Yasuke's main characters. Graphics were really good and combat was fun, though it did get repetitive at times, especially with Naoe, who is much weaker to Yasuke, but let me tell you, Yasuke, goddamn tank man, he's fun to play. I can see why people enjoy the game though, I truly understand, and even with what I say today, it really won't change minds for fans of the game, and doesn't matter to Ubisoft since the game has done very well for them. But still, that won't stop me from sharing my 2 cents, since this is my channel and I wanted to get this off my chest. Ubisoft, you've made great games I've truly loved, but you've also made games that have lost the sauce that made them good. I still love you, but wish you'd head down to the drawing board that you have and erase half the things you keep up there for all of your games. Cut down that game length. Get some meaty moments in the games again, like Assassin's Creed 4 with the island fight during that pirate party. Get that level scaling bullshit out of your open worlds. Let me be able to pop off in areas. Reduce the size of your maps. Good God, reduce them. They work well when they're smaller. Mirage's map was great, even if most of the map was desert, but it was small, guys. Bring back armors that mean something and grab my eye like the old games, where you had to explore to unlock a cool outfit like Altair's armor in AC2 or the Mayan armor in Assassin's Creed 4. There is no drip for either character in Shadows even after I finished the game. The drip is not immaculate in this game, Ubisoft. Would this be notes taken? Doubtful. If anything, I'm on a blacklist now for if I ever wanted to interview someone from Ubisoft or get a code from them for their games. But I tell you what, if that is the case, I just have one final thing to say to Ubisoft before I go. Will you please release a new Splinter Cell? Come on, man, I'm blue ballsed here with you guys. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you want to see more videos real soon. I do apologize that this video took a month to come out, but yeah, I did post about it that I did have a video in mind a couple weeks ago, but while I was working on it, it just really wasn't coming together for me, and I just decided to scrap it. But after this video, I promise that videos are going to come out at a much better, like, scheduled release, I promise. But until then though, like I said, be sure to like and even subscribe to see videos real soon. And as always, like I say, thank you all so much for watching. It's appreciated.